It didn't take a rocket scientist to know that what Ronnie Coleman was doing in the gym, he'd be paying for later on in life.
Coming to you live from Ronnie Coleman Recovery Center, giving you an inside look at what I go through on a daily basis on my quest to walk again.
Well, I've been on these crutches now for they've been longer than 2 years, you know. After a while, you know, that can be very discouraging.
Time don't stand still, it's not meant to. No one stays the best forever.
It's not easy what he did, and those are battle scars of all the heavy lifting, all the pain.
I saw a guy that just had the willpower and the heart of a complete warrior. You know, after a while, you be in pain so much, you kind of get used to it, and you just kind of learn to block it out.
Warrior's mentality, you know, he's a warrior.
Well, I think this surgery is something that's really going to help me out a whole lot and maybe put me back on track to being normal and get rid of these crutches and be able to walk on my own without assistance.
You can't be afraid of it, and I know when he went to the gym, I know he didn't have any fear in his body.
I've lived, and this is the life I've chosen, and I'm not, you know, ashamed of it, and I'm not going to hide it.
We remember the top of the mountain. We remember the top of the mountain. He showed us what that looks like.
So I know a lot of people out there, I mean, all on my comments, people say, oh, he's on the fucking juice. Oh, he does juice. He probably does steroids and growth hormone. Do you want a fucking medal for figuring that out? You want a good job? Like, no fucking shit. I'm a professional fucking bodybuilder. I'm 5'6", 240 pounds in the fucking off season. Like, put 2 + 2 = 4. Good fucking job. The problem with most of you out there is that you are judgmental fucks. And the problem with that is in what we're doing, the whole reason that we are in the gym setting, fitness setting, is to uplift each other. It is like Robert Frank, this is the one fucking place we can go that everyone's on the same fucking page. I don't care if you're fucking natty, you're not natty, you're a CrossFitter, whatever the fuck, powerlifter, bodybuilder, whatever. It's here to fucking become better. That's the one fucking place you can go as a fucking place of just uplifting greatness.
Is there anything in bodybuilding that you consider cheating?
No, I mean, everyone's looking for that edge. You know, there are steroids involved in the sport, okay, in bodybuilding, obviously. And that's the problem with our sport, and that's why it hasn't got accepted by a lot of society, because they look at the bodybuilder and they say, oh, steroids. Mm-hmm. But they don't understand what actually goes into the sport, okay? You do what you do to be the best in what you do. You do what you do to win. If you want to call that cheating, fine, but I have the edge. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm the best.
It's very sad, you know. It hits hard for me because, remember, I stood next to him and battled him, and I admired the way he trained. And sometimes I wish I could do that. And now I look at it and say, wow, you know, what did it? I don't know the answer, because Ronnie's not going to cry about anything. That's the thing about Ronnie Coleman. He's not going to make excuses for himself. Well, this is why it happened. He'd rather just say, you know, when people say, hey, you know, you're laid up, you had this many surgeries, what do you think? He goes, well, I'm really disappointed I only squatted 800 twice. That's just Ronnie. Everything negative is a positive to him, and that's why he's great.
I think I could have got 5 with 800. I could have got 5 reps. I think I could have got 5 easy reps.
Look, this is a sport where it's an extreme sport. There's an extreme amount of work that goes into this, an extreme amount of discipline that goes into this. You know, with Bigger, Stronger, Faster coming out, it sort of paved the way for people to understand, like, okay, these people do drugs. Like, this is part of it. It's just part of what they do. And let's not really, like, look at that. You know, I love what you did in Generation Iron, because what you guys did was, like, you didn't totally ignore it. You like, had that part with Jim Stepani in there where he, like, explains it in a way that sort of takes it off the table, which is nice, because, like, let's not focus on that, because that's not what this is about. This is about how hard it is to live inside of a sport that is a 24/7 adventure. I mean, like bodybuilding is 24/7, 7 days. You know, you can never stop. And I think that's what your film more focused on, was like the sacrifice and dedication. And my film focused on, you know, the drugs and the ethical use of the drug use. So I feel like what the films both did was sort of pave the way for people to understand our culture of fitness, bodybuilding, you know, because it's all kind of the same. We all come to this for the same reasons. I think we all are drawn to any of this stuff because in some way we felt like we weren't good enough. We felt a void in our lives that we weren't maybe good enough. And so we go to try to be the best that we can be. And a lot of times in bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, whatever these sports are, these muscle and strength sports, they have to be extreme. It's an extreme endeavor.
Ronnie, he had a goal in view. He wanted to be the #1 bodybuilder in the world. But of course, eventually, with the massive weights that he was lifting, those discs can many, many times pay a pretty heavy price.
Doctor said he's going to go in and perform a surgery in which he's going to take out screws because all they're doing now is just causing me pain. And when I say pain, it's a lot of pain. It's like 24/7. It never stops.
I won't lie, I cried the first time, and especially when the hips went. And, I mean, he had to use a walker and all that. That was tough for me.
He's still working out.
I don't think he'll ever stop. It's probably not the best thing, but for his overall well-being, I think he needs to.
They're called oxycodone. They 30 milligrams. I take about 4, sometimes 5 a day, every single day. This is the highest potency you can get.
Now, in order for me to completely be natural, my body is pretty much fucking abused. What we do to ourselves abuses us like we are 50, 60, 7-year-old men. If I don't take a synthetic hormone, I won't produce it. I would have to go through extensive therapy to produce it on my own, and even then, probably not. I knew that going into this, motherfucker, and that's why I say personal decision to all you stupid bastards out there. You need to fucking understand the severity of this. Fuck your shit up. Take years off your life, you know? That whole live your life like a lion for 30 years or a lamb like 70 or whatever the fuck that saying is, bro. You know, when you're 18, you believe that, but as you get older and realize there's a little bit more to life and there's a lot of people out there that rely on you to be around for a while, you know, that doesn't mean I'm any less intense or any less crazy or anything like that or a pussy. No, that means that you understand and you have perspective on life.
Bodybuilding is about lifting weights. That's what it's about. It's about pumping iron. It's not about injecting, but over the years, it's actually became more about injecting than lifting weights, you know? So that's the question. I think everyone has their own opinion on whether it's cheating or not cheating. And I didn't have a lot of money in the beginning, and therefore I wasn't able to take a lot of steroids. My thing is that, you know, whatever it takes, you know, if you can do that and you can get away with it and nobody knows and you end up winning the show, then fuck, that's great. The thing is I can't really say I'm for steroids, but I'm not really against steroids. You know, it's a personal choice. I'm really against young kids taking steroids, you know, teenagers, even in your early 20s, I'm really against that. And once you start taking steroids, your testosterone levels, your testes shut down and they no longer work. So your body is not producing testosterone anymore. And you know, if you shut down your production at an early age, it's never gonna come back to what it was. You know, when you have low testosterone, you're tired, you're lazy, you don't feel like doing anything, you know, you have no sex drive. There's a lot of negatives. So it's very important for you to have a normal testosterone level. And the problem nowadays is it's almost like young kids join a gym, and when they join the gym, they buy the steroids. It's like in the old days, it was like, we join a gym and we go buy protein powder. You know, that's what we do. Yeah, I just joined a gym, so I need protein powder. Now, it's like I just joined a gym, I need steroids. You know, and it's like the day they start the gym is the day they start the steroids. And it's almost like they go hand in hand. And it really is out of control. You know, testosterone is something our body, we're born with testosterone. It's something that we need. You know, so we're putting more of something we already have in our body, you know, so just knowing that information makes it a little more, you know, make a little bit more sense that it's not as bad as, you know, people want it to. want to believe. You know, they're a lot more common now, and doctors are prescribing them now. So a lot of older, you know, adults are taking steroids just to, you know, to bring up their natural hormones, you know. So if you take, you know, if you're taking steroids and you continue to take them, it becomes a point where they no longer work, and you're just taking them, and all you're doing is destroying your body and causing damage, and you're not getting any benefits. So it's mandatory that people take a break. You know, everything ends up equal. You know, so if you take steroids for 20 years and, you know, you got all this muscle and you have this great sex drive and, you know, you had all these girlfriends because of this and that, well, guess what? You know, the negative is going to come back at you eventually, and it all equals out. You know, so all the good you're getting, you're going to get the bad.